I stole money from my schoolmates' wallets when they were out of class and never got caught. I searched for my schoolmates' wallets, in their bags, to steal their cash when they were out of class. This happened around 2015 at my high school in Scandinavian/Europe, where it is pretty normal to stay in the same classroom for the whole school year, where the teachers moves around every class instead of the students. Other than that, you have the same schoolmates in all 10 years you go to school, so you get pretty close. When I was around 13 years old, was in 7-8th grade, I stole money from my fellow students/friends. Without any purpose at all. I went to a private high school, where the most of the students was pretty privileged and often carried bigger amount of cash than usual in their wallets. Sometimes when we had education in another classroom, like biology/science, I asked the teacher if I could go to the bathroom, but instead went into our empty classroom and looked for wallets in my classmates' school bags. I usually found $100 to $150 in cash and took them to myself without anyone knowing. I maybe did this 3 or 4 times during the year, but chose some different people every time to remain stealthy. I have never heard a word about it. Maybe because the kids I stole from was in a situation where you just ask dad for lunch money and he give you $100 casually. Money was never a problem for these kids and their families. The worst thing that I can't get off my mind is that I actually don't feel bad about my actions today. I usually feel guilt strongly if I have done something wrong. I'm that kind of person who can't get myself to lie at people, shoplift or anything bad like that, but anyway did this in the past. This is so wrong, so I can't really understand. I don't feel worser than I do. I have maybe taken cash worth of $500 total during one half a school year. I thought about paying the persons back, with a letter through physical mail, with a small anonymous apology if I can find their address. Today $500 won't kill my economy, and I think they could be used wisely to get my moral clean, since I really haven't done anything like this before except the actions described in this right. Maybe I did it to push my boundaries? I really can't give an answer. I wasn't really broke during the time since I had a youth job and earned a good amount of money at that age. I split an edible with my sister and I regret it so much. My sister has told me she smoked weed before a couple years ago, nothing too serious, she was safe and with her trusted friends, didn't seem like she's make a habit of it. When I found this out, I've never smoked anything, never got high/drunk, so I was surprised to say the least. Today we hung out because I'm visiting from college and I'm staying at my mom's. I'm pretty open with her about weed stuff, and I've been high around her a few times. She was never uncomfortable and I always asked permission before taking an edible. That's the only way I got high at the time. Today she revealed to me that she snagged our mom's dab pen and has been taking occasional hits off of it, and she brings it to her friend's house and stuff. So I spontaneously asked if she wanted to split an 10 milligrams edible with me, and she agreed. She's never had an edible before, so this was kind of a first, and it was only about 5 milligrams, so I figured it wasn't a huge deal, and it's not. She enjoyed herself and was on her phone listening to music and on TikTok and stuff. Now she's sleeping and I can't sleep because I just feel so guilty. I didn't say this in the beginning, but my sister is 14 and I'm 19. We're very close. We've been through a lot together and I wanted to bond with her because I feel like we're losing the connection we used to have with me being moved out and in college. I didn't have any intent of hurting her or anything. I just wanted to have a good time with her. I shouldn't have done it though. I feel ashamed of myself. She's still young and I shouldn't be condoning this kind of thing. I'm the big sister. I'm supposed to be better than this. Even though nothing bad happened, I'm so sorry.
I sold my mom's weed to a kid at school for $100. I, 13F, am in middle school, and at my school, almost everyone smokes weed. I'm telling you, these people are fiends for just the tiniest bit. Now I don't smoke weed, but I know a lot about it because my mom smokes it. It was the Tuesday from 2 weeks ago when I came up with the idea. BC, I was bored. I went to one of the biggest fiends I know and told them I'll give you some weed for a $100. I really thought she was gonna say no, BC she don't know me, but she actually said yes. Imagine being that bad of a fiend. So fast forward to Friday, my mom just bought some weed from the dispensary and she smokes half of it. She gets the pre-rolls and bought 2. I thought it was the perfect time to steal the other half. So another fast forward to Sunday, mind you my school is really ghetto, so it was honestly a 1% chance they'd check me. I gave the girl the weed and we go on to our day. I get home and my mom's fiending trying to find her weed. She asks me, did you take it? I'm a quiet kid, so it's easy for me to lie and get away with things. Mom, you really think I would do something I'm trying to stop you from doing? Master manipulator, she says I'm right and assumes she smoked it all. Honestly, I'm surprised I didn't get caught, but you should never do this, because there is a very high chance of getting caught. I just got lucky. Hopefully my mom's not suspicious of why I have like 700 packages all of a sudden.
I snuck out to drive illegally and damaged my paintwork. I didn't know how to title this, but I damaged the paintwork of my front bumper to the point that I can't hide it despite not legally being allowed to drive. I live the UK and currently I am awaiting driving lessons so that I can legally drive on the road. I was fortunate enough to be gifted a car to help me learn in. But my family do not seem interested in helping me. I have a sibling who can drive and currently my parents are away on vacation. They've said I can get my car serviced and fixed while they're away and my sibling can teach me a few things too. However, they have not mentioned anything about the car since leaving, and when I ask my sibling to drive the car for a service and repair, they either blank my question or act like a total bitch to me and start insulting me for a good while. Because of this, for the past few days I've been sneaking out of the house to practice driving down the road and around the parking lot of the little shop near us at around midnight. Last night, our neighbors decided to park 2 cars in a stupid manner behind my car, which meant that pulling out would require me to wiggle it through the gap of the cars. I successfully managed to wiggle out, but in the process of driving off I scratched the paintwork of the front bumper on my sibling's car. I was able to wipe away the damage on their car and erase the fact I drove into it, but the paintwork on my car is scratched and cracked to the point that it can't be hidden. I have no idea what to do, whether I should act clueless or admit what I've done. I'm aware I should not be sneaking out to drive alone, and I should have turned around as soon as I stepped out the door, or at the very least when I saw the 2 parked cars. I bullied someone and I got away with it by changing my appearance. When I was 12 years old, I'm not from USA. I was studying at school from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. At 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. the schoolyard was always full of students who wait for the school bus or waiting their parents to pick them up. So once at 6 p.m. I was in the yard waiting my mom to pick me up, and while waiting I was trying to make new friends. I met a guy who was younger than me by a year. We started giggling about random stuff, and I started mocking him sarcastically. Once I felt that I have control over the situation, I took it to the next level and I slapped him jokingly, but he took it seriously and he walked away and started crying. My mom finally arrived and took me home. It was a normal day, except that at the time I had a very long hair. I was looking at myself in the mirror and my hair was awful, so instead of going to the barber like always, I decided to cut my own hair. So I took my pair of scissors and cut my own hair, but it didn't work. I showed the haircut to my mom and she took me immediately to the barber to cover up the mess that I did. Unfortunately, the barber had no option except shaving my whole hair and make me bald, and that's exactly what happened, and I eventually became bald. The next day at school I was brutally bullied by my classmates because I was bald. We started the session as usual, and suddenly one of the guys in the school administration showed up. This guy was well known by his severity, and he was accompanied by the student that I bullied the day before, so apparently he was looking for the guy who bullied him, who was me. The guy from the school administration ordered all the students of my classroom to stand up, and the guy who get bullied started scanning faces to recognize the person who bullied him, who was me. But fortunately he couldn't recognize me because I was bald, so I eventually got away with it.